So please describe to me what the aesthetic look is exactly.
Well, like this guy here.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and bring
Oh wow, you really have to come in here?
like this guy.
Is this
No,
is this really happening? He met the other guy behind you, bro. Like I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm right into that bad boy.
You can stay right there, behind the camera, behind the camera. No, see now that you got me jealous now.
That's okay.
That's not
no,
fair.
but you're more in the category like Luther and Arnold. Okay?
My man. Yeah. Arnold Ferrigno. Huh?
Okay.
Aesthetic. That's great, partner. You two ever go outplace everything in its proper place?
That does not make sense, but we usually do go, we head to Kroger's and we work.
Yeah. I've got a lady waiting for me back home also. She has the most beautiful scrotum. Oh, God. And when she sings, she sounds just like a puppy dog. How do you nail a photo?
Just gotta get in the mode. You gotta talk with your eyes.
Talk with your eyes.
Talk with your eyes. You
Okay,
gotta
so
have the eyes.
can you show me a little bit of something, like to this camera? I would love to know how to do this. I just want to know.
Well,
How
I
do you do it?
mean,
Teach
the
me
smile,
something.
You can get the sexy eyes. Then you know you gotta get the smile going on some shoes. But you know,
Wait, hold up.
You got-
I gotta
when
try
it's
this
time-
with
when
you.
it- when it's
Hold
time
on.
to laugh,
I gotta try
you
this
gotta
with
think of
you.
something funny and start
do,
laughing.
do it again. Do it again. How do you do it? Teach me.
sexy eyes.
The sexy eye.
Just a sexy eye right here.
Smizing?
Smile.
So you're smizing.
Smile.
Okay.
And then you gotta get the.
No,
the
I look like
acne.
I need to take a poop or something.
Wish words were like little toy guns. No sting, no hurt, no one, just a bang, bang. Right?
Is that it?
Yeah, it's something like that. Just a bang,
Toy
bang,
guns.
rolling off your tongue.
Toy guns.
It's no smoke, no
Bang, bang.
bullets.
Water guns. All right.
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Pascal Show. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I hope you guys are all doing well out there, enjoying your time. You know what I'm saying? Enjoying your Monday. It is Monday, y'all. Wow. I still, even myself, I still can't believe that it's Monday right now. It has been a crazy weekend. But if you don't know, I'm back. Back at it again. Back in St. Louis. Back in my hometown. Enjoying some time. You know what I'm saying? Doing what we need to do here as usual. So hopefully you guys are all doing well and enjoying your time right now. I miss the purple. I'm not going to lie. I miss it. I really, really do. But it feels good to be back. Feels so good to be home. Feels good to be back in full effect. I apologize for the late delay or for the hella delay. I was still trying to piece everything together. Like literally, I put everything together, called up the boys, and we are live right now. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. Enjoy seeing the old space again, the old lights. I'm back home and in one piece. No more Miami. Miami gone. Okay. But I'm glad to be back. Grand rising to everyone who's tuning in right now. Good morning. Grand rising to all y'all. Dory, Black Travel Brogy, 89, Stacy Everson, Kev Z, James Joseph, my OG. Good morning. Yeah, man. Winter Mute, the Pioneer. And also I want to say a big shout out to the Pioneer. I want to say a big thank you. If I still can find it. Nope, it's gone. But I want to say a big thank you to the Pioneer for joining and becoming a family member. Okay. I really do appreciate you doing that. That does really mean a lot. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And of course, anybody out there that's interested, you just got to, hit that join button down below. It's only $4.99. $4.99 a month. Helps fuel this show so we can keep giving you your stories, your pop culture, and your controversies of the day. Anyway, grand rising to everybody, all those that I didn't get a chance to say grand rising to. But at the same time, grand rising to my fellas, because we are all in the house today. All right. David and T, what's up, y'all? How y'all feeling? I can't hear you, David. T, how you feeling, man? It's like an ongoing issue.
Yes, I'm good. I'm definitely good.
Good.
Just had a bowl of cereal, so I feel kind of good right now.
He's feeling hearty. He's feeling hearty right now. He's like,
it's almost time for lunch, man, so I'm late. So I'll eat.
That's true.
A sandwich probably, done the show. I'm all good, though.
Yes. I mean, we do have a short one, so I'm sure you're going to be able to jump on and jump off and get another bowl of Cheerios or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sure you'll be just fine getting a hearty meal in here in a second. David, what's up, man? How you doing? What the ground?
Man, I'm pretty good here. It's hi to everyone in chat. It's been an interesting weekend here, though. Saturday was pretty good. I ended up going to my friend's friend had a party, so I went up there. I mean, it was only 4 people counting me, so it wasn't really much of a party. But yeah, nice. I went over there for that. And then the whole state caught on fire, and half the roads got knocked out. So, Yeah, I'm still waiting on parts for my dryer that I mentioned about 2 weeks ago because the main highway on the way in had a rock slide that knocked it out completely. So there's no shipments coming in right now. And to the east, everything is on fire, so the whole sky is full of smoke. So there's only like one way out of here right now.
Have mercy. Well, hopefully you're fully stocked up over there. You know what I'm saying? You got all the stuff, your essentials that you need.
Yeah, I'm good.
You know,
I always stay stocked up just in case this happens.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I'm glad you're doing okay. And there's been some crazy storms last night or yesterday. Throughout the entire day was just people getting like, we just got hit hard. St. Louis got hit hard with a crazy storm. You know, I went out to my backyard and I just saw just everything's just in disarray. So yeah, man, that's crazy. That's crazy. So so it must have hit you guys first, and then it came straight over here, and we just got destroyed. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad you're doing okay. I know that even the East Coast, right? Didn't the East Coast get rocked with a really bad storm like Saturday or something like that?
Nah, we had light rain. It wasn't major.
He's like, light rain, that ain't nothing major. You know what I'm saying? This we talking about Philly, bro. You know what? Here it is. Like, that ain't nothing, man.
We got gunshots, man. Talk about rain. Fucking gunshots every day.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, there's plenty of stuff that's going on, plenty of craziness that's going on. But of course, hopefully you guys in every neck of the wood is doing good right now and is in good shape. You know what I'm saying? Like, because the storms are really bad, they're really serious right now. We're seeing all kinds of stuff all over the country, and it ain't gonna stop. It ain't stopping anytime soon. Real talk. So hopefully you guys are all doing well out there wherever you are watching this show. Periscope, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, to every single fan member that's watching the show right now. I do appreciate it. It is greatly appreciated. And don't forget, I mean, I have to do this really quick, shameless plug. Don't forget to hit that like button down below. All right. That would really mean a lot. You know what I'm saying? And of course, for those of you who are watching for the first time ever, crush that subscribe button. Okay. We working hard out here in these streets. All right. And yeah, I'm back. Purple. We back in purple. Again, no more fans going on in the background. No lake in the backyard. You know what I'm saying? We back in the old studio again. But it feels good. It feels good to be back. Anyway, don't forget to hit that like button. Show the love. Show as much love as you can. It'd be greatly appreciated. But we got to go into some of the news right now. There's been a lot of conversations that have been going on as of late over the past weekend. There's a really tragic story of a cop that was slain in Chicago, while numbers are just death toll. The death toll in Chicago due to gun violence is just skyrocketing. I mean, it's getting crazy in Chicago. It's been crazy, but it's starting to amp up even more. We definitely got to talk about that. We will be talking about that very, very shortly. Obama, my man Obama, in trouble because, he out here, having a good time out here. And, he was celebrating a little too hard. You know what I'm saying? Due to the public personal opinion and all that, to public opinion. Due to everything that's going on with the Greek letters that are starting to spike and stuff. Yeah, we're going to talk about that too. You know what I'm saying? He was celebrating his big 6-0, being on this earth for 6 whole decades. That's a lot. All right. So we're going to be talking about that as well. And then, of course, our first main story today is something that's really crappy, in my personal opinion. And, like I said, this is literally minding your own damn business while being black. Like I said, the T-shirt's coming out soon. The hashtag T-shirt is coming out soon. Trust and believe. New merch coming. But at the same time, this is minding your own damn business while doing your job while being black. I don't know. We got to look at this story here. And like I said, it is just it is, in my personal opinion, absolute 110% trash. Let me just pull this up here really quick. Bang. We got it right here for all y'all to see. This is just ridiculous. Okay. So a black Army vet toured a house with his real estate agent and team, Police surrounded the home and handcuffed them. Yes, this is real talk. We got a bunch of different clips and all that to show. And then, of course, I'm going to throw it to the fellas, to the round table, and we're going to have a full-on real conversation about all this mess, all of this mucky muck, if you will. Okay, because in my personal opinion, this is absolute trash. Okay, so as a police officer turned Roy Thorne around to cuff his hands behind his back, the 45-year-old father saw the same happening to his 15-year-old son. They were clients, okay, touring a home, possibly interested in purchasing this home, and they ended up getting arrested. Feelings came quickly then to Thorne, who's black, raged that his son was being arrested. Humiliation that the teenager had to watch his dad get handcuffed while the whole neighborhood looked on. The whole neighborhood looked on. Confusion about how viewing a house with his real estate agent on Sunday afternoon could lead to a half dozen police officers pointing guns at them. Let me just say that again. Pointing guns at them. Okay? But more than anything, powerlessness. Thorne could not do nothing other than obey in desperate attempt not to die. I just felt defeated, he told the Washington Post. That's something you never want your kid to see. Thorne and his son were touring a home Sunday with their real estate agent, Eric Brown, who's also black, in Wyoming, Michigan. Okay. When police suddenly surrounded the house with guns drawn, the officers were responding to a neighbor's 911 call about a supposed break-in, allegedly. They ordered the three men out of the house, handcuffed them, and put them in separate vehicles. Except it wasn't a break-in. Brown, 46, who's been working in the Grand Rapids area market for 20 years, arrived at the house on Sharon Avenue Southwest around 2 p.m. Thorne brought his 15-year-old son, Samuel. Thorne and Brown said they were racially profiled. Yeah. If they were white, they said, neighbors wouldn't have called the police. And if they did, some half dozen officers would not have surrounded the place with their guns drawn, the men added. A SWAT team is what it felt like, Brown said to the Post. A captain with the Wyoming Police Department didn't respond to a request for comment to the Post late Thursday, but told a local TV station earlier that week, the officer's response had nothing to do with race. What you guys think? See, even my dogs are angry about this story. For 2 months, Brown was helping Thorne find a house. And the brick 2-story was the latest possibility. For about a half hour, the two men toured the property, noting features they liked, the size of the master bedroom. I think you can't even say master bedroom anymore. Apparently that got canceled. But according to the main bedroom and the front yard, and what they didn't like was the outdated basement. Then Samuel, who'd split off to size up the possible future bedroom, rejoined them to report police officers were outside. Thorne looked out and saw two of them armed and communicating only using hand signals. When one of them went back to the back of the house, Thorne, an Army veteran, realized they were being surrounded. He told his son and Brown to get down and stay away from the windows. Police video footage from body and dashboard cameras published early Sunday shows an officer calling the men outside to come out of the house with their hands up. Thorne spotted an officer in the backyard and called to him several times through an open window. The officer pointed his gun at Thorne, he said, leading him to duck. He told the officer they were there. He told the officer there were three of them in the house, and they were coming out with their hands up. He made sure his son was behind him. I was scared, Thorne said. I was scared for my son. The thought raced through Brown's head. We're going to die today. Of course, fortunately, no one did. Officers commanded them to keep their hands raised until they were cuffed and put in separate vehicles. When Thorne and Brown asked what was happening, officers told them to wait. Brown explained he was a real estate agent on a scheduled tour, still handcuffed. He showed them his credentials and said he had a confirmed appointment to show this home. He explained how he used an app on his phone to access a lockbox with the house key. That's when officers realized the mistake and freed Thorne, Brown, and his son. The police body camera footage shows officers removing the men's handcuffs within 10 minutes of arriving at home. One law enforcement agent could be heard telling Thorne's son, don't worry too much about this. I think it's going to be a big misunderstanding. After removing the handcuffs, the police told him that the neighbors reported seeing the same black Mercedes outside the house that was there during a recent break-in. When police arrived at the house, a Chevrolet and Hyundai were parked out front. Huh? So wait. They're saying that the reported seeing the same black Mercedes outside of the house. But when they arrived, when Popo showed up, there was a Chevrolet and a Hyundai parked out front. Okay, somebody dropped the ball somewhere. One of the police officers is seen on the video telling a colleague. A second member of the department replies then that when he pulled up, he could not see the vehicle's license plate. That car is the exact same body style. Okay, the car that broke in last week. He said, comparing the Hyundai Genesis to a Mercedes that previously was reported at the home. Several officers apologized, and of course, Thorne said he thinks one was genuinely sorry. He said he saw the officer talking with the white couple who had called 911. The officer returned to say he had chewed them out, apologized again, and left, Thorne said. The incident lasted about 30 minutes, but Thorne and Brown said its effects will endure well into the future. Thorne said Samuel is paranoid about doing something as banal as touring a home for sale. That touring a home for sale could lead to multiple officers pointing guns at him and his father. Like I said, this whole thing is just stupid. Okay. Now they're saying that a black Mercedes was parked outside that house before when there was a break-in. But when the cops pulled up, ready to, be all suited and booted and, save the day, protect and serve, there was, like I said before, there was a Hyundai and a Chevrolet, a Chevy, straight up a Chevy. And of course, when the cop says, oh yeah, I gave him a good tongue lashing. I told them that what they did was wrong. How dare they? They know better. Did he though? Did he really give him a tongue lashing or no? So we got more. There's more to this story. We got to take a look at this news clip.
Top tonight, a local real estate agent and his client calling out police. They were put in handcuffs over the weekend after armed officers responded to a home that he was showing on a report of a break-in.
The officers let them go as soon as they realized the mix-up, but the men are now speaking out, saying that they were racially profiled. News 8's Jacqueline Francis spoke with those involved and joins us with this story new tonight. Jacqueline?
Sue and Brian, right after realizing the mix-up, Wyoming police removed the handcuffs and apologized. The department giving us context tonight about why they responded the way they did. But for the men put in cuffs, saying sorry doesn't change the past, as they want to be sure this doesn't happen again in the future. It was a Sunday afternoon showing that started like any other. Realtor Eric Brown was taking his client through the home on Sharon Avenue in Wyoming when he noticed a growing police presence in the neighborhood.
I just thought, well, we're going to have to probably leave because they're maybe looking for a criminal. And Roy's son, Sammy, came upstairs and said that there were a whole lot of police officers outside the home. And that's when Roy looked outside and noticed that there were officers there and they were pointing guns towards the property.
Roy, the client, announced themselves to the officers. They say police then ordered them to exit the home in single file with their hands in the air. All three were put in handcuffs, including Roy's 15-year-old son.
They keep the guns drawn on us until all of us were in cuffs. So that was a little traumatizing, I guess. You know, under the current climate of things, you just really don't know what's going to happen.
Now, here's really quick. I just want to throw this in here really quick. Because obviously I feel some type of way about this particular story. This story, in my personal opinion, is absolute trash, obviously. And of course, I'm going to be throwing it out to the guys here very shortly. But here's the thing. Guns were drawn. These men are complying. They came out with their hands up. They said, hey, we're here touring a house. I'm a real estate agent. I'm showing this client a home for them to possibly buy. Right? Why were the guns still drawn? Why were all the guns still drawn? These are three men that were complying, sitting there saying, hey, we ain't doing nothing. We're just trying to I'm just doing my job, officer. I'm just doing my job. Let me show you my credentials and let's keep it moving. Huh? Okay. Let's continue.
It was only then, the men say, they had a chance to explain themselves. Eric showing police his credentials as a real estate agent showing the house, at which point they were free to go.
That officer came back and apologized again, but at the same time, the damage is done.
Wyoming police say they were responding to a report of a break-in, and their actions followed protocol, telling us that same home was recently broken into, and the 911 caller indicated the person arrested had returned. Even with that in mind, Eric and Roy can't help but feel that race was at the heart of it.
Oh, for sure. But let me ask you something real quick. Let me ask you guys something, okay? Because general consensus, the last time I checked, when you're performing a B&E, okay, if you're about to B&E something, do you do it in broad daylight? Do you do it in broad daylight? Don't worry, I'll wait. Do you know? Do you do it in broad daylight? Can I just say hell to the no? You don't do it in broad daylight, y'all. That is not what you do. Okay? So, and if they were trying to do a B&E, you know what I'm saying? If they really were trying to do a B&E in broad daylight, then these are the dumbest burglars in the freaking world. You got three black men that are dressed in a presentable way, in a very professional way, trying to do a B&E in broad daylight? You really think so? But then it's a black Mercedes that was there before, and there's a Chevy and a Hyundai outside in the driveway. And yet, oh no, we just couldn't see the whole license plate, so it could have been. It's the same kind of body. Last time I checked, a Hyundai does not look like a Mercedes. Okay, I'm just gonna throw it to the fellas because I'd love to hear their thoughts on this. Real talk. All right, David, come on, man, speak on them, bro. What do you think?
I have some things to say, but first off, I did send you over private chat a article that has the I guess, dash cam or
Ooh.
a camera from a car, at least, of the initial incident once they get there and the police show up. It's about 1 minute into that video at the top of the article.
Okay. I will. Wait, hold on. Do I have it?
In private chat, yeah.
Okay. Is it the Chicago Tribune?
No,
Oh,
it's
no,
the
the CNN.
article. Yeah.
CNN. Okay. I've got it. And it's a minute in, you said?
Yeah, it's about when it starts.
Well then let's take a look at this really quick. Let's take a look at this footage really quick before we go all the way into commentary. How's that? Just so we can see this footage, because I feel like we should definitely see this, shouldn't we? Yes, we should. Let's go.
Imagine touring a.
Hold on 1 second, guys. Of course, you got to have ads and commercials and stuff. Hold on 1 second.
Starts at 1 minute 50 seconds.
Thank you. Getting through this commercial break. This ad. Gotta love these ads, man. It's funny. It's a very very peaceful airplane. That's another conversation in itself. Wow, he's flying the plane too. Look at that. Lucky him. Anyway.
Home up for sale and being met. For you, did it feel like
there? And so, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
It felt, I don't feel like a home that had been on the market for this length of time, with a number of showings, given the climate and activity in our market, that no one else had the that type of or level of force or response respond.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Look, Roy, I'm glad you're here and you're healthy now, but you had to be worried that, it wouldn't be the case while this was all happening.
Yeah. I was worried. I was very worried initially when it all started. Not knowing that the officers were out there until I saw two officers outside the window on the side of the home after Sammy told me that there were cops outside, because he was downstairs and he came upstairs where Eric and I were. And once I saw the two officers with their guns drawn, and I saw them doing hand signals, signaling each other to surround the house, and I noticed that, and one officer was heading to the back, and that's when I really got paranoid, because I knew once they surrounded the home, they were just preparing for a standoff. And so my instincts told me, we need to get out of here. We need to get to where they can see that we're not a threat. And but I can't say that my adrenaline wasn't pumping. I was worried, but I was just more concerned about getting my son out of that situation.
And of course, I don't blame the father for going, hey, I need to do whatever I need to do to protect my son, to protect my family, to protect my future. And to me, like, this whole thing is just it's heartbreaking, because you can't even go and check out a home. You can't even go and check out a home now without somebody, automatically thinking that you case in the joint, or you're trying to do a B&E in broad damn daylight. I'll tell you what, though. This is going to sound really jacked up, but just hear me out. This is probably a blessing. You want to know why? You might be like, why, Pascal? Why? The reason why is because now they know what kind of neighbors they would have if they were to move into that space. So in a way, it's like, hey, can we find another place? Can we look at another neighborhood? This one's kind of giving me the heebie-jeebies now. Real talk. Now they know, point blank, that they have racist, I said it, racist neighbors. This shouldn't have been a situation at all. But David, what are your thoughts on this, man? You're muted.
All right. So this is unfortunately something that we do kind of see repeatedly happening across the country. especially when it comes to Black people with a family trying to, or even alone, just a guy trying to purchase a house. There's a lot of problems with that, and we've seen this discrimination throughout the country. Denver, which is very close by, it's like in the top 20 liberal cities or whatever, and they still have massive issues where Black people will be trying to get a home, and then they have that thing where they get somebody else to come by to get the valuation, and it completely changes based on who's buying it. And like I said, the same thing seems to happen in Denver, where they just Black people be looking for a home and they get arrested for some reason. I don't think this is a unique situation whatsoever. And I do think it was most likely tied to race in this case for sure. But this is kind of how I think some of these places manage their, I guess, like their community. Like they use police to kind of keep out minorities. They keep them out of locations where their house might increase in value, where they may gain wealth just by being like an owner of that property. And often if you see like the zip codes where Black people tend to be forced or concentrated, tend to have almost the opposite, where the value of their properties goes down. So this is one of their ways of preventing people from increasing their value. It's kind of a trap in a way, not just against generational wealth, but against mobility. And this is probably part of that. Hard to say exactly what the cops are thinking. But I would think it's something along the lines of that. This does seem, I lived in Ohio for a long time, and this was common, I think, in that area, in Indiana as well, and a lot of the Midwest, I guess. I've heard stories of this. I do have Black family, and I've heard stories from them exactly about the same things, just trying to buy properties in those areas. So I do think this is related to race, and I think this is just an example of something that goes on more generally, and something that is almost always only functioning when the police enforce it, because they're really the only ones that can, at this time, they're really the only ones that can just show up and tell somebody to leave. Like if say just one random white guy or whatever came up to a whole family of Black people and got recorded telling them to go somewhere else, they probably get destroyed by society. But the police can get away with this crap. So I think Pioneer said it, like swatting or whatever, basically is the way of forcing Black people out now, where in the past you might have just had some thugs show up with guns to tell them that it's a white only city or something and force them to leave. But now the police do it. And I'm sure the police did it in the past too, but now it's solely the activity of the police. And that's why I do think the neighbors called them.
You know, and yeah, I do agree. I think that there was more to this than just a situation of, oh my word, oh my gosh, there are Black people in the place right now. There was a break-in before. Nah, this is their way of going, you know what? Let's scare them really, really quick. That could be that theory too. Straight up. This could literally be them, the neighborhood, or the neighbors, at least, because apparently there were other people of the neighborhood that were watching this whole situation go down as well. That's at least what it says, according to that article that I just read. So you don't think that maybe one of the neighbors was sitting there going, let's just scare the bejesus out of these guys, so they know that they are not welcome here. Oh, wait, no, it wasn't. They're not robbing. It was a misunderstanding. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. It was a misunderstanding. Sorry, y'all. You know, it's not because you're Black. We saw people in there. My bad. No, it's all race. This whole thing is race. And for the head of the police department, of the Wyoming Police Department, to even iterate, to even say, oh, no, it's not even like that, man. It wasn't based on race. It's a full bold-faced lie. Bold-faced lie. This whole thing started on race. And we've said it. They said it in the article as well. See, it got my dogs all upset and stuff. Shoot. Real talk. If there was sans melanin in their skin, trust me, they wouldn't even be blinking an eye. They'd be like, oh, look at that nice, the Smiths are moving, maybe moving in. That's really great. There would be no issue, no hesitation, no pump fake, no call to the cops. None of that would have happened. None. T, thoughts?
Well, housing discrimination and redlining and all types of things like this that fit into this category has always been prevalent in this country. And David really went into his bag there and really uncovered some things, which is really interesting, because this can actually like be his own segment. It's really that deep. And looking at it, from my point of view, I could easily say, that it was racial. I don't know. It's hard to prove intent. And that's the part where those people who will deny this is racial, they go, "Well, you can't prove it." So it's although you can't prove this was racially motivated, you can connect it to the caller's premise. And they mentioned that there was a black man previously who broke into the home and was arrested. So they're assuming that these black people are going to do the same exact thing. So just in that context, to me, that would be proof. But it's just unfortunate that in 2021 that we're still trying to overcome these things. And when people like to scream that, these things don't exist, there's no privilege, cases like this are highlights of the barriers that people who are black, or brown or whatever have to go through just to come up in society. You hear rhetoric like, work harder, stop doing criminal acts, obviously, put yourself up from your bootstraps, things like that. And this young man and his son, who's 15 years old, are trying to get a piece of the American pie, the American dream, by buying their home. They're doing things the right way. And still, they encounter like several police officers who are not asking for their ID. Their guns are drawn. So they would see these people as a threat, as a violent threat. You don't get that at traffic stops. So it's unfortunate that someone who's trying to get a piece of the American pie, trying to do things the right way, still has to jump through these hoops and try to make it. And like the father said, the trauma's already done. You can't unprogram this incident from the young man's head. So now at 15 years old, he's going to grow up, thinking that, my life could be in danger, just because of my color of my skin. So it's really unfortunate that these things are still happening. It's really, really unfortunate that although laws and policies have changed, things really haven't changed within people. And that's the problem right there. People have not changed. Although laws have changed, people are not following the new policies and new laws, and they're not treating people as they should be treated.
I couldn't agree more. I think that there are a lot of things that they say, oh yeah, we're fully aware of what's going on in the world, or we care about this, that, and the third, and we got people's backs, etc. But I mean, yes, there's things that are out there, but there's still things, maybe things are, dumbed down or thrown down, whatnot. But that doesn't mean that they're being implemented to the fullest extent. Doesn't mean that they're used. It's just saying, okay, we're going to say that these things exist so that everybody else can shut the hell up. We're going to do all these things. Seriously, we're going to do all these things, say what we need to say so that the woke crowd and the people that feel that things are being unjust can shut the hell up. But then when they say, oh yeah, no, we're in a new world. You know what I mean? The times, they are changing. Are they really? Are they? Because now you can even see right now the true nature of that neighborhood or the true nature of that neighbor. And it's still being hidden behind it's a misunderstanding. Oh, I'm so sorry. The misunderstanding of it all. They use that as an excuse now. when it's a bold face in all red, full caps, in all caps, y'all. Racist. Racism. It's because they be black. They walked in that place and then suddenly they said, oh, it was a black Mercedes that was there a couple days before. So it must be the same people because, you know, those cars are there that aren't a Mercedes. They're going to try to find any excuse under the sun. Oh, no, we didn't see the full license plate. That's why. So, and it's like the body is kind of the make of a Mercedes. I'm sorry. Wait, I'm sorry. Hold on. Because I ain't got time for this. What did they say? What was the make of it was the Hyundai, right? What was the name of the Hyundai? I'm going to pull it up because we need to see with our own two eyes. Can one of you guys look at the article really quick? It said it's somewhere in the bottom near the end of the article. Said something about the make of the actual of the actual car. Actually, let me just pull this up. Let's just play. Because they said they didn't see the full license plate. What was the make of that Hyundai? What was the make of that Hyundai?
I don't see it.
I'm looking at Mercedes Genesis, Hyundai Genesis. Hold up. We gonna look this up because you know. Hyundai.
It's a nice car though.
Genesis.
Nice car.
Okay. So I'm just pulling up these images. This is just straight up raw. Okay. So hold on. Let me share this so you guys can see this with your own two eyes as well. Genesis, a Hyundai Genesis. Take a look at this. Looking at it with y'all. We're looking at it together. Nice looking ride. Okay. I'm just curious. I'm asking for a friend. I'm asking the fam. And thank you so much for showing love. Keep hitting that like button down below whilst watching the show. Give us some positive energy. You tell me. I'm gonna click on this one because it'd be black. So we can click on this one. This is a 2015 one, by the way. I don't know what the make, if it was like a 2019, 2021, whatever. But let's look at the 2015 Hyundai Genesis. Okay. Does it look like a Mercedes to you? Okay, hold up. Because, you know, we got to do our due diligence. Okay? We got to do it. Let's take a look at it.
That black one does. Yeah.
Let's look at Mercedes.
Got to put a poll up to see if people think it looks the same.
Here's a Mercedes. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Here's a Mercedes. Black one, too. Hold on. I'm going back there again. We're going back to the Hyundai. Here we go. Just so you guys see it. The Hyundai. All right. And then the black Mercedes. I'm going to go back to the Genesis one more time because I want to make sure I'm not insane. But when you pull up to a crib and you see my dog getting angry about this stuff. See what I'm saying? Because they feel it. They feel the energy. They feel the wrong. Here it is. They feel the racism. But here it is. You got a Hyundai, okay, Genesis. And you saw the black Mercedes. So you're pulling up, like, unless you want to catfish some girl and say that you drive a Mercedes. But I'm just saying, real talk. I'm sure some guys have tried it. But anyway, you're pulling up and you see, just say this black Hyundai Genesis. Do you automatically think, oh, that's a Mercedes? Oh, my word. It's the same Mercedes as it was before. Do you think that does this look like a Mercedes? Does it?
And I will say one thing, because
yeah, for sure.
I mean, they were like parked behind those two cars for quite a while before those people came out, or at least for a few minutes. I mean, by that point, they should have seen the symbol that it's a Hyundai. They should have seen the name written on it. I mean, they chose, for some reason, they knew the people that were allegedly, according to them, the cops, robbing this place came in those two cars. Like, they seemed to already know that. And they had enough time to analyze the cars to see that it's not a Mercedes-Benz, especially if they ran the license plate number, which would tell them the make and model immediately.
Yep.
Pops right up on the screen. I've seen it before myself. And so not only did they not run the plates, or if they ran the plates, they ignored the results. They chose to, instead of just blocking those cars and keeping them from running away, they decided to not block the cars, but to get out with their guns and pretty much address these people who they haven't even spoken to yet, instead of just doing something more reasonable and blocking their cars and having a normal conversation. I think from the beginning they were looking at going into this more aggressively than necessary, because they passed up a lot of easy options here. They passed up a lot of reasonable choices that they should have made to get to the point where they're pointing guns at people, which should only really happen if they feel that their life's threatened. And they had absolutely no reason to believe that. They saw two cars. One of them, neither of them have the Mercedes logo on it. I mean, you can see it right here on Pascal's thing. The Hyundai symbol looks quite different. And it's also like, obviously the name, or at least the make is written on there. I don't know if the Hyundai name is written on there. So I just think that I think they're just full of shit, I guess, because I think they knew that car was not the same. It was just too easy not to tell otherwise. It's not like it was driving. If it was driving past them, I could kind of see that mistake, but it's just sitting there and they can look at it as long as they want.
Fact.
So,
and even if you got a side, even if you saw a side profile of this ish, okay? Even if you saw a side profile of this ish and you really wanted to make sure that it was the black Mercedes that you saw the week before, wouldn't you just drag your dusty ass off your couch, walk out to your front lawn and just peer over to the side just so you can see it? You know what I'm saying? Once you go, no, that's a Hyundai, and keep moving. Not profile looks like a Mercedes, therefore it must be. Hey, Popo, what's up? We got 3 brothers inside this house. Yeah, we had a break in before, and I think there's a Mercedes. No, you would have leaned out. You would have done your due diligence. You know what I'm saying? Would have like peeled yourself off of that couch, walked over to the front lawn, because it was still a nice day. It'd be summer. It ain't like negative 17 million degrees out. You know what I mean? It's not sub-zero. You just walk right out and peer over to the side just so you can see it. Like, no, that's not a Mercedes, but it's still weird to me. No. This is trash. Kev, now you can take that shot of alcohol finally. This is trash. Drinking game. He has a drinking game anytime I say trash. Anyway, this whole situation is trash. It's garbage. Okay? Garbage. Those people were doing more than just showing up and calling up the Popo. They were saying much more to that. They were saying much more than that in this situation. I guarantee you that. That was them going, yeah, you can come in here if you can endure our BS, but we don't like your kind around here. They showed their ass quick and easy. There it is, y'all. And also, by the way, there is a toll, or there is a poll, okay, going on right now. Do you think Hyundai and Mercedes look the same? Hell yes or hell to the no. Please hit that poll up there and let us know. We will talk about it and tell you guys the results at the end of the show. Okay, so please keep voting. Love to hear your thoughts on this. But at the same time, you look at side profile, sure, that could have been any car. It could be a freaking Toyota. You know what I'm saying? It could be any car. But at the same time, I know the difference between a Mercedes and a Hyundai. No offense, but that's just my personal opinion. Okay, I know what looks like what. Okay? Just saying. Now, if they were just sitting there going, hey, there's 2 new cars outside, blah, 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 fine. But they reaching, man, grasping at straws, in my personal opinion. And if they're going to use that as an excuse, it's a sad excuse. Oh, also, I'm going to say this too. Oh, I guarantee you, the police department and whoever else was involved is about to catch a case. Just saying it. You don't think that family's going to sue the sue the shirts off of everybody? He going to put cases on everybody like Denzel. I swear to God. He going to put cases on all these mother lovers. Go ahead. T.
It's time for a free house now.
Dude, and then some.
Yeah.
And some. You know what I mean?
I mean, as far as the car thing, I think the new Honda Genesis is they are made to compete with the Mercedes E-Class. And the Genesis is like a $72,000 starting price, which is like amazing. I had no idea, compared to like $95,000 for the Mercedes. So it's trying to be similar to it, but it's not quite the same. I mean, like David said, like if it passed by, it's hard to tell. But like the Mercedes emblem is such a recognizable symbol, and that should be enough to see the difference, in my opinion.
To me, this is just a very sad excuse of mistaken, like a misunderstanding wrapped inside of a racist shell.
They all look alike.
Yeah, including Mercedes. Now you're being discriminating Mercedes now. You know what I mean? Now you're discriminating black cars. What's up with that? You got a problem with black cars too, neighbor? You know what I'm saying? No, I would not like to be your neighbor. Okay, anti Mr. Rogers neighborhood. Okay, I would not like to be your neighbor. It would be over. I'm sorry. Now I get it. Thank you. You told me exactly who you are. Y'all showed y'all asses. We good. I fully get it now. Y'all are garbage. And it's frustrating that they get to lean on the whole, it was a misunderstanding. I'm so sorry. Oh, no. They weren't robbing? It's trash. Anyway, we got to move on to our next story, y'all, because we got some things to talk about. Oh, man. Okay. Oh, boy. Our boy Obama. Okay. Our boy Obama is getting into a little bit of trouble because you don't know who Obama was or is. He's our former black president. Some people say forever president. Okay. He was celebrating his 60th birthday over the past weekend. And I mean, it looked like a hell of a shindig. Yeah, I said shindig. Okay. You got a problem with that? Anyway, moving on. Here it is. Oh man, I'm going to be doing some gymnastics up at this article. Real talk. Okay, so he got in trouble because obviously, as you already know, numbers are going crazy right now with the new Greek letters that are starting to file out. Cases are spiking. Numbers are growing. People are really getting sick out here again. All right. Now, he was celebrating his 60th birthday, and people are feeling some type of way about how he was not using or implementing certain precautions to make sure no one gets any of these Greek letters. But we got to go into this because this was interesting, because a New York Times reporter is being ripped apart for saying Obama's birthday bash, 60th birthday bash, was a low risk situation because of the sophisticated and up-to-date crowd that attended. All right. So a New York Times reporter was blasted after saying Barack Obama's birthday was a totally safe event because of the sophisticated and fully up-to-date crowd that attended. A clip of Annie Carney, a White House correspondent for the New York Times, speaking on CNN, quickly spread on social media, with critics berating her for justifying the party using such terms. Quoting people from her own story, Carney said that residents on the island of Martha's Vineyard, where Obama is, staying, where the party was being held, this thing's losing his mind, was being held, given her various reasons on why the concerns were low. All right. So, I need a refresh. Of course, I got to refresh. I can't even tell the whole story. Damn Daily Mail.
You,
Okay, here we go. This has really been overblown. They're following all safety precautions. People are going to sporting events that are bigger than this. This is going to be safe. This is a sophisticated, fully up-to-date crowd. And this is just about optics. It's not about safety, Carney said. Carney's comments came as Fauci was blasted for saying he was worried about the Sturgis motorcycle rally in South Dakota, which is apparently happening, as a potential super spreader event. I'll say that. But made no mention of Barack Obama's controversial 60th birthday party. Now, I was trying to show this the clip of her talking, but this thing is acting a damn fool right now, and that is totally fine. So here it is, guys. So because of how sophisticated the people that were attending, and because that they were totally up to date, that's why, I don't know, everything's fine because it's totally up to date. They're totally up to date and they're sophisticated. What? So, David sounds like he wanted to say something. I'm going to throw it over to you, man. What are your thoughts? Careful.
Yeah.
Careful.
Yeah, I actually just sent you an article. It's got quite a few pictures of it. What was going on there? And so rapper Trap Beckham and manager TJ Chapman, they were there, and they're the ones that took these pictures. I don't know if they're just cigars or blunts. You got pictures of them with them. There's a blunts for sure.
Oh, those are blunts, baby.
Yeah.
Those are blunts, baby.
But you can go through the you can see all these pictures. But basically what they're saying that like it was one of the biggest or best parties they've ever seen. Beckham ended up explaining that he had to delete all of his pictures due to the rules. He says that it was epic for sure. If any video surface, it's going to be viral. He danced the whole time. Nobody ever seen Obama like this before. And he kind of just says a few more things like that. Like this is one of the biggest parties he's seen, one of the best parties he's seen. Though Obama did say last week after he got some criticism for this party that he had planned, he said that he shrank the guest list considerably, but I don't know if he did. Me and Pascal are talking about that, and it seems like there was a lot of people there. So I'm not sure if he actually cut it in half at all. Yeah, it looks pretty packed.
They're kicking it. I'm sorry. They out here kicking it. And I mean, and also I got to point this out too. It's outside. It was an outside event. And I know a lot of people will sit there and go, oh yeah, it's because it was outside. So it should be okay, blah, blah, blah. But this was an outdoor event. This was not indoors or anything of that crazy stuff. But at the same time, people still can catch this ish. I'm just going to say that. So so far we see footage of no one so far doing what they need to do as far as keeping things safe. I mean, people out here, they out here look like one hell of a party.
And they were serving booze at least.
Of course, they were of course they were giving out booze. You don't have people kicking it like this, just drinking Kool-Aid. You know what I'm saying? Like, shoot, they out here. He was having a blast, and it was the 60th, so of course he's gonna have some fun, right? But people are upset, and they're smoking that loud, man. Smoking that loud. Okay, now here's the thing. I'm just gonna throw it up to the guys, like, because we already know about everything. The numbers are rising, all that stuff. He said that he shrunk it down considerably as far as like the number of people that were going to be there. But let me just show you this photo real quick. You see it right here. I hate these drop down banners and stuff, but you see it. If you look at this, that's a gang of people. There's a lot of people in there. People are kicking it. People be kicking it right now. It's okay. It's okay to kick it, but at the same time, you got to be wary of your surroundings. You got to be wary of what's going on, right? Especially if you're out somewhere and you're outdoors, doesn't matter. And you see somebody coughing a little too hard. I'm just saying, move the other way. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Move the other way. Find some distance if you can. Okay. But here it is. You got her or got him out here having a grand old time. People are having a great time. This is Obama. I'm sure this is the first time some people are doing any type of outing as well. during this time when numbers are going crazy? Was this the right idea? Does this make sense? Was this a good move? Even if he scrunched down his guest list to a considerable amount, even though those people are all fully up to date, we are understanding that there are other stories about people who are, catching things, whether they are up to date or not. But we're not going to go down that route. We're not today. We are only going to talk about this party and this party alone. Was this the right move, and should he be in trouble for this? I'm going to throw it over to T really quick. What are your thoughts on this, man?
It's interesting because I'm reading from all different sources. Depending on the actual media source, the story is going to be different. So the far right media is talking about it being a highly dangerous event. They're criticizing Obama for a maskless party. They're criticizing him also for doing this despite the variant. And they're also talking about, if this was Trump, you can imagine the mainstream news's opinion on this. It would be all hell breaks loose. But since it's Obama, they feel like he's being treated differently. Then the far left is just talking about this is not far left, but this the left. They're talking about just having a great time, what the menu was, who was there. So it's totally interesting because people are going to digest or download whatever they read or see in terms of their own choices of media.
Mm-hmm.
In my personal opinion, yeah, I mean, I'm on both sides. I get that this is a risk. But however, they were outside. I can possibly assume that anybody affiliated with Obama probably has been protected because he is somebody that you have to protect. So I'm pretty sure that they took precautions regarding his lifestyle and who was actually there. And I feel like him being 60 years old, I mean, that's my mother's age, it's they want to, this is their 40s again, they want to go out, have a good time. They want to enjoy life again. Last year was we all know, very traumatic. So to get out again in public and enjoy yourself with relatives and friends is great. And also in the article, it talked about there are other events happening right now, concerts and sports events. Yeah, they're happening. I went to one last night, the sports event, and no one had masks on pretty much like that, So it's I mean, I had mine on, but we can't just cherry pick, how to react to something. We can't be outraged because it's convenient to be outraged. Keep it real. I mean, yes, there are concerns with this party. I would be concerned too. But if everybody took their precautions, assuming it's a president, well, he was. Everyone should have been screened before coming in. That's what I think, at least.
And there's a good possibility, right? There's a good possibility that did happen. I'm sure that they did all their precautions. I'm sure that they did whatever they needed to do. Temperatures, maybe they had to show proof of being up to date, all that. I'm sure they did all that stuff, right? But that does not automatically keep you 110% in the clear from my understanding. And of course, we're not going to go into that conversation. We're just looking at the situation in itself. With numbers going up, skyrocketing, and all that. With numbers going up, I personally do think that he probably should have done something more, done an extra precaution, or had everybody wear masks, or when they were walking around and mingling, right? I mean, there's still ways you can still have your cake and eat it too. Hey, you see what I'm saying? He can still have his birthday cake and eat it too. And I think that there's just things, especially when you got the world, it doesn't matter. I get it, the cherry picking, because for a fact, everybody and their mama is just having, any person that's against him is just making a meal out of this situation, making a meal out of this. They're eating this whole thing up. They're loving it. But at the same time, you look at it and you go, okay, well, to avoid that BS, you add extra precautions, period. Because we're learning more and more stories. We're learning more and more things about the things, about being up to date, right? And these numbers doesn't matter. These Greek letters don't give two damns about us. They don't. Whether you're up to date or not. Just saying. So when it comes to this, I feel like he should have just thought a little bit more. Had another precaution, had another piece. From my understanding, they were showing photos of the waitstaff. Even the waitstaff weren't wearing masks, it looks like. There's a photo where they showed the waitstaff. I'm just saying, like, and now those photos that are circulating all over the internets right now, they're getting forced to be taken down. They're being deleted because of the backlash he has received. I say this. I get it. You want to have your fun. You know what I'm saying? It's your birthday. 60 years on the planet is a big deal. Especially if you weren't able to do a whole lot over the past year and a half. You're home. You're distancing. You're constantly worried about catching this crazy thing. You're dodging it every single day. Congratulations. And you're still on this planet. And then your birthday comes up and it's the big 60. It's a big milestone. I'm gonna be real. It's a huge milestone. But when you see people are talking about it before you even have the party, and you see that people like talking about the actual event, and then you're also seeing all over the TVs, all over the news about these numbers spiking like crazy, wouldn't you reapproach the whole plan and say, you know what? I'm just going to keep it very simple. I'm going to keep it safe. Close-knit group of friends. I don't need Beyonce singing in the thing. I don't need this hip hop artist smoking weed in my backyard. I don't need any of that ish. I just need my family, my immediate family, and the people that I'm close to, and that's it. And we'll celebrate this way. We'll celebrate another time the right way when all of this has passed. But you literally just gave right-wing conservative news junkets a freaking meal, and like a 5-course meal and dessert and a little bit of coffee or port, depending on what your taste is. Real talk. You gave them everything for the price of nothing. Feel like he could have just done something better. That's just me. That's just me. David.
I agree. In both regards, this is a giving an easy political win to the right, but I also do think it's incredibly dangerous, especially considering that Obama himself is over 55 at this point. So if you want any information, you have to ask me in Discord, but basically, from what the CDC has been showing us over the past few weeks, if you're over 55, he's probably going to catch it if he's exposed, and there's still a very, very high chance of him dying to it, as well as anyone else there that's over 55, which are like the majority of the guest list. So they needed to be doing those extra measures to have a chance. Right now, the CDC is telling you can just get it and give it as quickly as anyone else that doesn't have the blast.
Exactly. So, and that's the thing. And that's the thing. It's just like, there are so many concerns that it's just one big old layer cake of concerns on top of concerns on top of concerns. Not only just his age, whether how healthy he is, how unhealthy he is, the other people that are around him, so on and so forth. Like I said, I don't want to go into it too deep on the other side of things because we don't want to get in trouble. But with that being said, this is a situation that I think can only make things worse. I feel like it's a recipe for disaster. Chuck D just said something. Chuck Diesel, good morning, my brother. He said, now it's going to empower people to have maskless parties. And that's real. Even so, on the other side of the fence, not only just on the right side, because, on the right, they don't give two damns. They're saying that this is like, Nazi Germany stuff, blah, blah, blah. But as far as on the other side, now other people are going to go, well, if Obama's doing it, then I can do it. And then we're going to have more trouble. And this goes without saying as well, like the parties that we have seen online, the concerts, the events that we've seen, where people are not practicing nothing. They're sandwiched up on each other, not giving a damn. No masks, no nothing. You know, those things. I mean, when you see our former leader kicking it and not giving a damn, everybody else is going to be like, I don't give a damn. David, real quick.
Yeah, I was just going to say, and this is true for everyone that's over 55. Even if you got that blast, you need to be careful. So if you're near someone that's immunocompromised, you can still kill them very easily. That's just what the numbers are showing right now.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, like Pascal said, some of the news is acting like it's not a problem at all. Other news is acting like it's the worst thing ever. But what you need to know is if you or someone you're dealing with is 55 or over, you're almost certainly going to be sick from it. And and the numbers get really bad for you the older you get over 55.
Right.
So yeah, you can kind of get away with this if you're younger and you got the blast, but otherwise you're almost as much danger as you were a year ago. Actually, you're probably in more danger than you were a year ago, even with one of them.
Yes.
They're recommending you get at least 2 different types of blast right now. Maybe
Right.
some people
Ooh.
are getting all 3 types of the blast right now in the US.
We're gonna pause. We can't go any further. I'm sorry. Once we jump into that stuff, that's a whole can of worms that I do not want us to get in trouble on. But we will definitely talk about that. What I'd like to do is do a conversation about this on a members only show somewhere else. Because unfortunately, there's certain things that we cannot say on here. We just can't. And I know it sucks, but I don't want to lose this channel. So we're not saying anything more on that, on the information, because David is fully up to date on all that stuff. I'm talking about the information about being fully up to date. But unfortunately, we can't go any further than that. I get I start sweating. I instantly start sweating. Unfortunately, like we were saying before, and David's not saying anything that's not true. Okay. But at the same time, we live in this weird time where they will shut us up because we're talking about something that is true. But here it is. And we're reading from very, very reliable sources, etc. But like I said, we can't jump any further into it anymore. When it comes to the bare bones of it, him doing this or not, I don't think he should have done it. He should have known better than to do this. I think this was very irresponsible and very selfish, in my personal opinion. I think that he could have just looked at the situation and said, hey, things are going to get very, very bad. Things are getting very, very bad. I need to set an example because I am somebody that everybody looks at. His family is the epitome of Black excellence. Let's be real. They the Black Kennedys. So if you want to do if you want to do a party and this stuff is going on, hey, I know you've done a lot for the country, but on some real stuff, maybe this one time you're just going to have to, it's one weekend out of your life. Yeah, I know you want to, shuck and jive and, do all this stuff and be Obama. Nothing wrong with that. But there's a time and place for everything. And you know what the world's watching. The world's watching. What are you going to say, David?
I was going to say, just keep it within your family or your small group. You don't need anything big right now, really, if you're concerned at all.
Bingo. But we got to jump into the next story. I'm sorry, guys. Like I said, I would love to do a full-on conversation on another platform where we can all talk freely about all that stuff, because it sucks. Because I know David's fully informed on all this stuff and he's chomping at the bit to say all this stuff. Trust me, there's nothing wrong with that, baby. I love it. And I want you to say those things, but I'm like, to find one thing and then we gone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, people are getting kicked for posting articles from the CDC.
DC, you see? DC? You see DC? Do you see what I'm saying? So we can't even do that too. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, man, we trying out here. But real quick, hello, TJ Washington. Hi. Thank you so much for saying hi, Pascal. I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, what were you saying, David? What did you say?
Might be a good time to change the vote to T, and somebody else in chat mentioned it. Have a vote on if this party should have happened or not.
Ooh, that's a good one too. Let me see the results of this one. Well, let's end the poll. Let's do that. And it looks like, yeah, 70-something% thinks that, hold on, this thing is doing its tallying and whatnot. But it looks like 73% say that a Hyundai does not look like a Mercedes. So thank you so much on that. Let me ask this really quick. Should I think Obama simple. So we got another tally, another poll. Wow, why do I keep on saying toll? Another poll coming up here very, very soon. And it's basically saying, hey, do you think Obama should have had the party? Yes or no? Okay. Do you think Obama should have had the party? Yes or no? Definitely do your thing. Vote. We got to go into our next and last story. And like I said, we will be having sometime this week, depending on what, time Dave, what David has available. We will be doing a private show specifically on Pineapple Blast. Okay. So we will be talking about that without a shadow of a doubt, because there's a lot that we need to know. There's a lot that we don't know. The question is like, can't even say the questions right now because I don't want to get in trouble. But we will be having a conversation on this very, very soon, most likely later on this week, because we all need to be informed on this stuff. And it's just sucks and it's terrifying that we can't talk about this stuff. But moving on. Our last and final story of the day is it's crappy, y'all. It's a sad story. This has to do with a story that broke over the weekend. There was a police officer that was shot and killed in Chicago. And I got to be real. This one's really sad. She was a female officer. She was also a mother, a new mom. She just had a baby and went back on the force doing her job. And now she is no longer here. Now, the thing is I want to say this too, really quick, because I understand that there's a lot of people out here that feel some type of way, that watch this show, that think that we are just out here to bash cops and only be on the, one side of the spectrum or one side of the conversation. But we're actually on both sides of the spectrum. We're on both sides of the conversation. I do personally, and I think we all do agree, I do care about every single person's life that is lost. There's a lot of people out here that are understandably upset when it comes to any story. But we cover both sides of the spectrum. When something terrible happens, we talk about those things. And when something sad happens, we talk about those things. And this one, when it comes to a cop or when it comes to a civilian. So we got to talk about this particular story. And this one's sad, y'all. Like I said, Chicago officer Ella French shot dead. Another officer critically wounded during a traffic stop. All right. 29 years old. She was 29. Damn. A 29-year-old female police officer in Chicago was killed, and another officer was seriously injured in an exchange of gunfire during a traffic stop, officials say Sunday. The officer killed Saturday night was identified as Ella French, according to a post on the Chicago Police Department's Facebook page Sunday evening. And this is from the Chicago Police Twitter, says police officer Ella French, end of watch, August 7th, 2021. We will never forget the true bravery she exemplified as she laid her life down to protect others. Please hold her family, loved ones, and fellow Chicago police officers in your thoughts as we grieve the loss of a hero. And here's Ella French, 29 years old. 29. All right. And there's a bunch of stuff to talk about because the violence in Chicago has been very, very bad. It's been insane. It's been insane for a while, but now it's escalating. It's getting worse and worse. It's insane. But let's continue on this particular story. French's death was the first fatal shooting of a Chicago officer in the line of duty since 2018, and the first female officer fatally shot on the job in 33 years. And of course, I already just read what they said about French on Facebook. But they did say the department also requested support for French's wounded partner who is in the hospital fighting for his life. At a Sunday news conference, Mayor Lightfoot urged Chicagoans, to end the acrimony between police proponents who say officers are hampered by overly burdensome rules and staunch critics who say officers act with impunity. She said, stop, just stop. This constant strife is not what we need in this moment. Lightfoot declared a day of mourning and called for all flags to be flown at half staff. The police are not our enemies, Lightfoot added at the news conference. We must come together. We have a common enemy. It's the guns and the gangs. Officers had stopped a vehicle with two men and a woman inside, just after 9 p.m. on Chicago's South Side. When a male passenger opened fire, Chicago Police Superintendent David Brown said during the same news conference. Sources say that the passenger shot both officers from the back seat of the car. Officers returned fire, striking the passenger who appeared to fire at them, said Brown. He did not release the condition of the man. All three are in custody with no charges had been filed. He said. Police also did not identify the three who have been arrested. So as CBS Chicago reported, surveillance video from a nearby home shows an officer getting out of his car and walking near the fence. Within 15 seconds, a flurry of officers arrive. About a minute later, several officers take off down the sidewalk. Shortly after, an ambulance pulls up, a stretcher is brought out to the fence, and someone appears to be loaded into the ambulance. Brown said much of what happened was caught on a body cam video, but the video cannot be released yet. CBS Chicago reported. The Civilian Office of Police Accountability will hold an investigation. When asked about the condition of the injured officer, Brown responded, critical. We need your prayers. The superintendent said it was too soon to say why the vehicle was stopped and what might have happened just before the shooting began. He said the available evidence included police body cam footage. A gun was also recovered at the scene. A large crowd of officers gathered outside the hospital's ambulance entrance overnight, some hugging and praying, as Lightfoot first addressed the shooting to reporters nearby. Lightfoot said the officer who died was very young on the job, but incredibly enthusiastic to do the work. The last Chicago officer shot to death in the line of duty, was 28-year-old Samuel Jimenez. I guess Jimenez. Sorry, Jimenez.
Yes.
Jimenez. Okay, who was killed after responding to a shooting at a hospital on November 19th, 2018. Two officers, Conrad Gary and Eduardo Marmolejo.
You got it.
Died when they were struck by a train while pursuing a suspect on December 17th, 2018. The department also considers the Rona deaths of 4 officers last year in the line of duty deaths. Last female officer shot to death in the line of duty was Irma Ruiz, who was shot inside an elementary school in 1988. Now, Here's a photo again of Officer Ella French. And it says the Joliet police extend our condolences to the Chicago police, friends, family of Officer Ella French, who lost her life in the line of duty last night. We also send wishes of strength, healing to her partner, who is hospitalized in critical condition. We stand in support of CPD. Here she is holding a cute little dog. And, you know, the what's so sad is she also is a mother. She recently gave birth to a child and then came back onto duty. And now she is no longer with us. So, you know, these kind of stories are never fun to talk about. You know, they're never easy to talk about either. For me, it's a heart-wrenching story to have any person lose their life in the line of duty or because they're civilian and somebody makes the wrong mistake, right? Makes the wrong choice, you know? And we see countless stories like that as well, you know? And the thing is like, in light of everything, in light of all the chaos and the violence that has been skyrocketing throughout the entire country, when you hear a story like this, it still breaks your heart. Whether there are whether it was in the line of duty or just, you know, minding your own damn business while being black. Real talk. There should not be any types of fatalities or people getting shot and killed like this. It shouldn't. There shouldn't be these kinds of stories, but they are. And Lightfoot was right. We need to be coming together as a community and trying to fight off gang-related BS and all the guns that are going on, all the violence that is due to all this gun violence that's due to all the craziness that's going on in Chicago and throughout this entire country. Things have gone straight through the roof. They really have. And it's terrible. And you got this young woman, 29 years old, just had a baby, is a new mom. And now that baby won't have his or her mother. There's one less mother out here right now because she was doing her job. She was protecting and serving. And now you got these criminals that are out here that do all these outlandish and grisly acts. Like I said, you know, my heart and prayers go out to her family. My heart and prayers go out to her partner, who's apparently still in critical condition. It's terrible, this whole thing. T, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, you said it all. I mean, you put it out there. It's just so heartbreaking. A young mother with a 2-month-old baby. She returns to the force right afterwards just to continue her passion. And unfortunately, she won't ever see our child again, and vice versa. It's a tragedy that officers have to, you know, be shot upon at a traffic stop. I mean, is it that deep? I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, I know that the area of Chicago that the crimes are happening in are allowed to happen in. It's been happening for a very, very long time. And Mayor Lightfoot, by the way, I did put a clip of Mayor Lightfoot in the private chat. She's not. It's too late for her to, you know. You can't go back and fix this. I mean, she should have put her foot down a long time ago. You know, and she did not. And this is the rights, and like maybe even a far right to extreme, they always say that, the Democratic-led cities are the ones that are representing, the crime and the poverty and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
And until that narrative changes, they're going to keep talking about it like that. And, and I'm tired of seeing stop the violence and increase the peace and all this stuff. My entire life, I've been seeing the same thing. Put the guns down. There has to be something that the government, whether it's local or state or federal, wants to do to stop these things from happening. Because they, think about it. We can go overseas and, and change whole, countries in a way, So why can't we change our own American cities? So I don't think this is like, oh, we can't fix the problem. They don't want to fix the problem because, like the pioneer said in the chat, that areas with high crime, high poverty, and so forth, the home values decrease, and then in the more affluent neighborhoods, the home values increase. And what we've been seeing over the last decade or so in many urban cities like Brooklyn, Philadelphia, Oakland, LA, gentrification is when people who have the resources economically come into these, impoverished neighborhoods and buy all their property up for next to nothing. Then they start rehabbing it. And then before you know it, within 5 to 10 years, the whole city or the whole part of that city, the neighborhood, is totally gentrified. It's totally different. Now it has everything that it needed to survive for decades all of a sudden. So it's unfortunate because it's a cycle happening over and over again. And this poor officer has to police an area where it is high crime, there is violence, there are gangs that are allowed to exist there. And unfortunately, she lost her life. So now they're going to actually care, at least right now, publicly. Oh no, someone died, but but at the same time, there are people dying in Chicago, kids every day. There are dozens dying weekly. So like, does the outrage start only when a cop is murdered, who just had a baby, or should outrage be there consistently and until the problem is actually rectified?
That's a very good. That's a very good point, T. Because it shouldn't only be just because we have a female cop, a newly mother being killed to spark outrage or to spark some motivation to stop this violence that's going on in the streets of Chicago, or the violence that's going on in the streets, period, and throughout America. Because let's be real, it's bad everywhere. Okay. I open up Instagram and look at local Instagram like accounts that are based in certain cities, popular cities, and they only do like viral videos or surveillance things or whatever, of things that are going on in that particular city, and you still see like almost every other post there's a shooting that was involved, there was somebody that was killed, there was all types of random acts of violence that are going on. But they're random grisly acts of violence that keep going on. So yeah, absolutely. I do think that I agree. This should not be the only reason why we are out here talking about this. We should be talking about this way before. And here it is. Let me say this too. And I'm going to say this to the trolls. Because there's plenty of trolls out here that will sit there and go, well, you talking about this particular police brutality, but do you know what's going on in Chicago? Yeah, we've been knowing what's going on in Chicago. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, there's only so much. We can bring awareness to it, and that's what we do on the show all the time. But it's also up to Chicago, the Chicagoans, to actually step up themselves and do something about what's going on in their city. The amount of violence that's going on, they can't just turn a blind eye to it and think that it's going to subside itself. It's not. It's only getting worse. 50 some odd people were killed this weekend in Chicago alone due to violence that's going on in Chicago. And I don't know. I personally don't know why the numbers are going so high. I don't know why there's so much violence recently. You know, what is it? Like suddenly it's because everyone has to Zoom call or because they have to social distance. They suddenly just want to start acting the fool. Maybe it's because there's lack of job opportunities out here. Businesses are shutting down, all this stuff. So of course, crime is going to go up as well. Crazy is going to happen. Man, we just talked about it last week. People are beating each other up 32,000 feet in the air. Why? The amount, the escalation of violence that has been happening over the past year and a half, it all comes down to one common denominator. But it also has to do with us actually doing something about it. I mean, we can talk about it. We can sit here all day, but I'm talking about the people who are inside. Mayor Lightfoot, for example, doing things so that we can clean up Chicago, finding ways to do things, creating inner city programs for the youths. Yeah, I said youths, for the youths out here. So they have something to do other than going out and causing crime. There's got to be things that got to be implemented and brought in. But, and I'm going to throw it to you, David, really quick, but I want to show her response really quick. And then I'll throw it in, and then you have the floor. But real quick, it's also on her. I'm sorry to say it. She knows that the crime is going through the roof. And the only thing that she's saying right now is, hey, we just need to start getting along and blah, blah. Do something about it. And I know you don't have a surefire answer for all of it, but there has to be something. We need to motivate, not sit on our asses, on our couch potato asses and do nothing. We need to do something to make these numbers go down in regards to violence. Let me show you guys this video really quick. This is her response, or this is the video of her saying what she needs to say. Let's take a look.
The police are not our enemies. They are human, just as we are.
29-year-old Chicago police officer Ella French had been on the force since 2018.
We're transporting both officers to UFC Hospital.
Last night, she was shot.
Okay, we already know all about that. We read a big-ass article. But let me just roll back one more time with what she just said here.
To move forward.
The police are not our enemies. They are human, just as we are.
29-year-old.
Okay. And here's the thing. We know that they are human. We know that. Well, what can we do? What can we do? Or at least what can the Chicagoans do to slow this thing down? To slow the amount of violence and murder that are happening out in these streets, in Chicago streets. Highest it's ever been, if I'm correct, this weekend. The amount of death that has happened in this weekend alone. I'm going to throw it over to you, David. Thoughts?
Yeah, you are right. This is, at least for the year, the deadliest weekend that's happened so far. In Chicago, that is, which is obviously also the deadliest city. So it is going to be worse there. But basically, I agree with T here. I think that Lightfoot did have a chance to fix this when she came in, but she chose to focus on other things. Unfortunately, and this is well before she even got in. It's been Chicago's crime has been politicized heavily. And I think that when she got in, while Trump was active, that just made it worse, because basically what we saw was Chicago stopped being the story about a place in chaos that needs help. And it started to become a conversation over gun control versus expanding the police, basically. And that's kind of what we saw between her and Trump. Instead of trying to focus on a way of actually addressing all the issues. It basically just came down to Trump saying, I'm strong and I'll send the feds. And her response was, no, everything is perfectly okay and you can't come in no matter what. And so she ended up kind of defending how violent it was getting there at times, because by default, she had to continue to work against Trump. And even now that Trump's gone, the Republicans still, I mean, that's why Chicago weekends are always mentioned. Someone was asking about this. Basically, Chicago mostly initially gets mentioned by the right, and generally the left responds to it. This is because Chicago is a liberal city with a liberal mayor, and so they use it as an example, showing that liberals can't control their people, I guess, and more specifically that the weak law enforcement is causing this, whereas Democrats, of course, they go kind of the other direction. They're saying that it's the influx of guns that are causing this. Obviously, it's both, and just by both of them focusing on one part, you're never going to get the answer, because the police do need to treat people differently, and they do need to find a way to manage these guns. But instead, they're just arguing over who gets to handle it and how. And I think this is going to continue because Chicago is benefiting both sides to that degree. So every time this happens for the Republicans, they can point and look at these liberal cities. They're falling apart. 11 deaths every week. It's usually like 2. And but what we're seeing is this isn't actually as exceptional, unfortunately, as they tend to pretend, or tend to act, I guess is a better way to say it. Because what we're seeing is that there's been at least a mass shooting for most days this week or this year. And generally they only get reported if there are 5 or more kills. And what you see every weekend in Chicago is almost usually 2 people die. And so basically the right is just poised over it to kind of jump on it and point it out as a issue of the lack of police authority in the area and how weak the left is. And of course the left is, I think, largely they do not seem to be pushing to actually get the gun problem resolved. Instead, they want to talk about the gun issue. So what they want to use it for is a way to create new legislation. They don't want to actually send people in to help fix Chicago. They want to use Chicago as an excuse for new laws in different ways. And I think it's going to continue this way. The right will continue to use Chicago to defame people, while the left will continue to use it as an example of pushing the idea that there needs to be stronger gun laws, that they'll blame this on the police to some degree, saying the police need to learn how to better perform. And that's why I think this won't get fixed anytime soon, because both sides can continue to use it for a talking point. And instead of actually going in and fixing it, they use those talking points to create legislation that affects the whole nation to accomplish what they want. This is mostly about what these politicians want, because they do have the resources and they do have the laws to at least start reducing this. I don't know if they can fix it. I don't know how you can fix it, to be honest, but they can start reducing it. They can start working together instead of using it as a political point. And instead of letting it continue on as it is, as a resource of like political leverage and of kind of like part of the culture war, they could talk less about the large scale ways of fixing it and start talking about specifics, like we need to go into this area, we need to improve the infrastructure here, we need to stop the gangs here, we need to make sure people in this area can start getting to work, because right now, and this is a problem in Chicago, there's not a safe way for them to get to work because they got to drive through places where it's just not safe for them. They don't want to die to get to work. Obviously, even that little bit of money isn't worth your life. Even if you need it for your family, you're not going to be able to work if you're dead. And so people have these terrible situations where they're being left in this so that the politicians can keep talking about it without ever actually acting within Chicago itself. They act in their legislation to get what they want, but they won't act within Chicago. They won't go to Chicago with these ideas. They won't go into the streets of Chicago. They keep it within the political realm entirely. And that's what I think Chicago is being used for now. Chicago is an example of politics for both sides. It's not an example of something that they actually want to fix.
Woo!
Right, David. Good job, man.
Oh man, come on with it. Wow. Okay. You can just drop the mic and walk off the damn stage, David. No, that was beautifully said. I mean, facts on tops of facts on tops of facts, David. You're yes. That's how you drive, David. That's how you drive. No, that was beautifully said, man. I mean, real talk. Yeah. It is being an ongoing. It is basically being a chessboard, basically. And it's all about the games. It's all about what they can do, how they can mess with it, in what ways can they use this for their own political gain, etc. I mean, you look at Lightfoot as well, herself. And that's a whole conversation in itself as well. But at the same time, if she really was serious about bringing this stuff up and trying to find ways to make things change, she would have done this ish a long ass time ago. Real talk. She hasn't done anything. I don't think she is going to do anything anytime soon. She'll just keep letting the numbers keep piling up the way it is. It's so weird. It's so weird to me. And this is, for me, this is more than political. This is more than political gain. This is more than a bias. This is more than just Republican and Democrat. This is more than trying to get further because it's chess, not checkers, etc. This is the lives and safety of millions that are constantly playing roulette when they walk out their door. The amazing amount of people that have died and still nothing's being done. Then at the end of it, it's like, what are you doing? What's it for? Why are you doing this? What are you getting out of this, Mayor Lightfoot, or any of the powers that be? What are you getting out of this? Really? You see our men and you see our children, our men and women, innocent lives are dying, are getting killed, shot. And then yet the numbers keep piling up. Even if it is after having a female officer who recently just had a child. Even so, you're not even saying, hey, we need to clean up these streets. You're just sitting there going, police are not your enemy. We need to come together. Okay, show us what you mean. Get together. Let's make something happen. You need to lead the way because, oh my God, you're the elected official. You're the leader of that city. Do something about it. Like I said, get your dusty ass off your couch and do something. Not just go with the concerned face and that's it. I'll tell you this, if nothing happens anytime soon, if they don't find some sort of remedy as soon as possible, ASAP Rocky up in this piece, this will not be the deadliest weekend in Chicago. I guarantee you that. And if it means that we need to have somebody out here to step up that isn't an elected official and say, we need to clean up these streets. We need to stop the gun violence. We need to stop the violence. If it needs to be that, then where are they at? You know what I'm saying? Where the heroes at? That's something I also noticed. And we've talked about this a couple thousand times on the show before. Where have all the cowboys gone? Paula Cole. Where they at? You know what I mean? Real talk. Where are all the heroes at? That are willing to step up and talk. So we got Martin Luther King Jr. and that's it? That's it? No one's willing to step up and say what's good? Just saying, where are they at? Where are the men and women that are willing to step out and say this is wrong and we need to clean up our streets? Enough is enough. And we're seeing countless people die. Unnecessarily die. This woman should still be alive. Ella French should still be alive. I don't care if if she was black or blue. It doesn't matter. She was died unjustifiably. She should still be on this planet. If the things in the violence inside of Chicago were remedied a while ago, she'd still be on this planet, y'all. This stuff breaks my heart, y'all. It's heartbreaking. And what's funny is that even with this story, still nothing's going to change. And I don't mean to be pessimistic. But how many stories have we covered over the past year or so where there have been people who have lost their lives? In Chicago, let's just say. Nothing's changed. If this is still last weekend or this past weekend was the hottest weekend as far as deaths go, and nothing's changed, this doesn't inspire people to say, you know what, we need to start loving each other again. Just ain't right. We got a super chat here. I want to say a big thank you to Sonny James for the super chat, $5 super chat. Sonny just said, don't you think it's by design though? Can't help but think V for Vendetta, make those people beg for their government. You know, that is quite a statement right there in itself. But I feel like if it continues to be this way, other cities throughout the country are going to see the same attitude. They're going to feel the same energy, and they're going to go, hey, well, shoot, we need to do the same damn thing. And these other cities will follow in suit. Like St. Louis wasn't any better a while back, but somehow the chaos has subsided. I'm sure it'll rev back up at some point. But the thing is that people are going back to work. People are doing their thing. People are still being able to secure their jobs. Like I said, I don't know fully what's going on in Chicago. Chicago is a much bigger, much more metropolitan area than St. Louis. But at the same time, there are other cities that are going to look at this, see that, and follow in suit as far as the violence goes. And it's already happening. Atlanta is insane right now. Miami ain't any better. I don't know about New York. We haven't heard much about New York.
It's bad, though. It's bad.
It's bad. But watch. Like I said, these numbers will keep going unless I feel like it's come down to this. The people of those cities need to do something because the elected officials, it seems like they're not doing anything. And now, as far as Chicago and Atlanta and all the New York and all that, if they're just sitting there and chilling, if it's like, oh, we must do something, then do something. Get together, brainstorm, figure out ways to make the violence slow down. You know, it's sad. Like I said, it's sad. I just hope that we can all start figuring something out so we can stop this violence. I feel like this was something like a thing that happened in the 80s. You know, there was a whole movement of stop the violence and all that, and it seemed to have slowed down. But now we're just revving it back up. I understand history repeats itself, but this is how much I feel like we need to find ways to get our cities to open back up fully again. Fully. We can't do it all the way right now because of the stuff that we're dealing with. We're dodging all kinds of stuff, but there's still a lot of people that have lost their jobs. A lot of people who are getting evicted. A lot of people are losing opportunities because of, there's no Skrilla. So then they resort to random acts of violence, carjackings and stuff. Shoot. To the point where you got all these videos that are out here. Don't get me wrong. We show these videos on the show all the time. But then you have other videos where cops are driving away from actual moments of violence. They're leaving. That happened weeks ago, but at the same time, those are real. Why? Because cops are sitting there going, shoot, I ain't getting paid enough for this. More and more cops are leaving the job. And that's the same thing with like airlines because of all the chaos that's going on. More and more people are leaving from those things because of the chaos, because we're just allowing these things to happen. Don't you see? Somebody has to step up and say enough is enough, and this is not right. Somebody got to. I'll get off my soapbox. But all I'm trying to say is that at some point there needs to be somebody to step up and say what's good. We got another super chat. Thank you, Sonny James, for the $10 super chat. We need to investigate who's buying those businesses up. I'm sure most didn't have riot insurance. Also, any security contracts that tech companies might profit from. This is old disaster capitalism. That's interesting too. Thank you so much for the comment. That's the thing. If we're able to bring those things back, then maybe we can some normalcy will get back into those cities. You know, the cities won't be as volatile. You know, people won't be as angry. And there's a lot of reasons to be angry right now. I ain't trying to front. You know, there's a lot of reasons to be angry right now and be fed up. I get it. But one thing we do not have is we do not have that person that's stepping out willing to stick their neck out to say, hey, all the violence that's going on in Chicago or whatever city that you're in needs to stop. And when that does, if that ever does happen, then maybe the violence will subside. But right now, like I said, we ain't got no cowboys out here, y'all. We don't. Everybody wants to play cowboys and Native Americans out here, or indigenous. Is that the correct way of saying it now? Yeah. Cowboys and indigenous, but ain't nobody really want to put the, strap up and be ready to fight. Anyway. That's a whole different story. Like I said, the violence needs to slow down, but we do need other people that aren't part of the system, if you know what I mean, Lightfoot, that aren't a part of the system to step up and say, yo, enough is enough. We need to start bringing back love. We need to kill the violence, down our guns and start hugging each other. You know what I'm saying? That's what needs to be happening, But anyway, that's it, guys. It's a big show. So I wanted to say a big thank you to everybody for being on. That's the show, y'all. Okay. And like I said, that story just tore me apart. It angers me so much. You know what I'm saying? Because we are all, this world is so beautiful. And we got so many wonderful things in this world that are just amazing. But we are too busy killing each other for whatever reason. Pulling out guns and start blasting. For what reason? Like I said, I don't know where the heroes are anymore. I just don't. I wish I knew where they were. I really wish I knew where they were. And at some point, somebody's going to have to step up and do something. Somebody. You know what I'm saying? But we got to wrap up the show. But one thing, we wrapped up the poll here says about, do you think Obama should have had the party? This is very interesting. It's almost down the middle. Almost. We got 45 votes. And 57% of y'all said no. 42% of you guys said yes. So there you go. Like I said, another polarizing poll for all yo asses. I want to say a big thank you to the fellas for being on. Thank you. T and David, thank you so much for the show.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I keep saying short show, and look at that. 2 hours later, it's a full-on lie. Just know that anytime I say we're doing a short show, I be capping. That's it. I'm capping.
We got to end on a sad note, though. Unfortunately, I know
it sucks.
I put something in the private chat. It's kind of funny, but like you gotta kind of listen carefully though to the dialogue.
Oh, I didn't even see this, man. Hold up. Okay, hold up. Like, is this gonna like ostracize a group of people?
No. This is totally like.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
We'll get it. Me and you will laugh all day.
All right, bet. Okay, I'm gonna throw it up because we got to have something to laugh at. I'm sorry for being, the Debbie Downer. You know what I mean? Saying what I had to say, but we do need to bring some awareness to certain things. Real talk, and like I said, I love y'all. I just want people to stop killing each other, y'all. Shoot. Real quick, I wanted to say a big thank you to Jay, the comedian, for the $1 super chat, and it just says game over. His little sticker. So thank you. I really do appreciate the $2 super chat. I'm so sorry. The $2 super chat really does mean a lot. Anyway, let's take a look at this. I'm gonna kill the music real quick. There's a hard cut because T likes to just throw these random things at me at the last damn minute. When I think I'm out, they keep dragging me back in. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
What movie is that? Pop quiz. So we got to take a look at this. Apparently this has to do with innuendos. Am I correct?
Yeah, just listen carefully.
Innuendos for all y'all ways. Okay, let's take a look, shall we?
There's plenty of health benefits to drinking almond milk, which is probably why it's becoming a more popular choice.
God.
We came over here to Treehouse Milk to find out how it's made. Let's see how it's done.
I already know where this is going. Some nut juice. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I'm done. All up in your mouth, some nut juice in your mouth. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, there's a lot of lactose intolerant folks out there, but also more and more people are switching to a plant-based diet. Veganism has gotten very popular in the last few years.
So start to finish, how is your almond milk made?
So we take our almonds, our organic almonds from Spain. We soak them overnight, and what that does is it helps to release the enzymes, which kind of brings out the nutrients, makes it easier for your body to process, and it also makes it creamier milk. 1 cup of nuts to 3 cups of water.
Does it matter the temperature of the water?
Preferably cold water. I mean, yeah, because you're going to want it to stay, you're not going to want it to heat up too much. You can basically make milk out of any different type of nut. Like we make cashew milk, macadamia milk. Our favorite right now is Georgia pecan milk. All right, for this batch, I think we're going to add, how do you feel about a little honey? You okay with a little?
Yeah,
So this is a hydraulic press. It's a juice press.
Okay. The press is a faster process in squeezing the meal out of the nut. But if you want to do it the homemade way, you'll have to use your hands.
You might want to stop. Okay.
Okay, I'm going.
I can feel why the investment in a press is very valuable. Can I squeeze down?
Yep.
The old-fashioned way.
Yeah, with your hands.
Hand is mightier than the press. And it's ready to roll.
Yep.
Ready to roll. All right. And that is how Treehouse Milk is done. Let's see. Do you make cake?
We should.
Not bad.
Okay.
I tasted several different types as well. Now I have here pecan milk and also almond milk. You can make milk out of any nut, really.
Okay.
Okay. And so which would you prefer to try?
I wanted to try the pecan.
Okay, let me get you some of that there,
Okay, so
Francesca.
pecan.
All right.
Oh, that's way too much. What are you doing?
You just taste it. Anybody else with pecan?
Why'd you nut? What's
Pecan,
the other? Almond.
Yeah.
I'll do pecan because I always have
Okay, all
almond.
right, yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Try some of that.
Yeah, that is
Crash.
a lot.
I'll try some vitamin D real milk, please.
I don't have any of that.
All right, I'll do almond.
Okay.
Since everybody else is doing the pecan, I'll do the
All right,
almond.
let's see. Give it a taste test here.
Oh, why did I say pecan?
See what you like.
By the way, they're getting paid to do this. They're getting paid to do this.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Cheers.
Cheers. Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Give it
A little sweet.
Give it a little sniff.
Sniff the nuts.
Whoa, that's potent.
I can see where it would be great for coffee.
Well, and now,
yes.
homemade like this has more of the nut content than what you would buy in the store.
You can tell.
Yeah. So it's going to taste a little
Has
bit
more
different
of the
than what
whole
you.
milk content.
Has more of the nut.
You can
content.
taste more of the
Yeah,
nut.
Yeah, you can taste more of the
'Cause it's
nut
fresher,
than you. Well, yeah, and it's really a fresh nut being added.
Okay.
So with the big makers, it's kind of what's left over. and was put into it. So there you go.
Did this took a long time to make, right?
No, not at all. Not at all. You can do it at home.
Okay.
Yeah, you can do it at home. Just soak your nuts. Just follow the package there. Soak your nuts, and then there you go.
Soak your nuts. Soak your nuts.
Soak your nuts.
I'm out.
So yeah, soak your nuts. Soak your nuts, children. You know what I'm saying? Just good old fashioned nut juice. Get some nuts in your mouth. I'm done.
I can't breathe right now.
I'm done. Just get good old fashioned nuts in your mouth, nut juice. Nut. And apparently the most effective way is with your hands. To get that juice out is with your hands.
The old fashioned way.
The old fashioned way. Apparently it's the best way with your hands. You don't need no machines. Just use your hands.
Any kind of nut. Any kind of
nut. Any kind of nut.
Fresh nuts, though. Fresh nuts.
Fresh nuts. You need to soak your nuts overnight, though. So the enzymes.
The vitamin D.
It's like, I want some vitamin D milk. I'm like, I'm done. Oh, my God. I'm done. Oh, my God. Real quick, I wanted to say thank you, Dory McNulty. She said for the $10 super chat. She said, thanks, Pascal, for the show. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. Shane. Then of course there was another one right here. Miss Will I Ams. Thank you for the $5 super chat. She said, what did I come in on?
Blame me.
We just talking about nut juice.
That's my fault.
We just talking about them nut juices. You know what I'm saying? The nut juices, nut juices. So anyway. Random, but thank you. I really do appreciate it. We had to, that was sad, talking about violence in Chicago and just going straight into a left turn into nut juice. You know what I'm saying? Just, like I said, fellas, ladies too, just be sure to just soak the nuts in water overnight. Soak them so the enzymes get out. The best way to press it, because you got machines. Machines are out here. But you could do it all with the hand.
Old fashioned
way. See what I'm saying? So anyway. Oh, Dory said, oh my dear Lord. What did she say? Let me pull this up here. She said, I have a vitamin D deficiency, sadly. Well, I'm sure Chuck Diesel can help you out on that. So, yeah. Hey, I'm trying to help a brother out. Damn. I'm just saying. It's a joke. Come on, I'm joking. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, ladies. And Chuck, I'm sorry. I love you. $5 super chat. I bought that product. Talk about shrink. Oh, my dear Lord. Look, nothing like what he DM'd me. Ouch. I don't know who she's talking about, but she ain't talking about no Chuck Diesel. She better not be talking about no Chuck Diesel up in this piece. Dude, well, fellas, soak your nuts. You're welcome. Hard cut into the music. Hard cut for these nuts. So anyway, we're back at it again, saying goodbye for the 15th millionth time. No, T, thank you so much for the nut juice. I really do appreciate it. The video, not the nut juice. Yeah, that was not intentional. That's what he said too. That was not intentional. I'm done. I'm not talking no more. Thank you guys for being on. David T, thank you so much. I appreciate all y'all. You guys are amazing. Great show. As David would say, be like, yeah, great show. Yeah, it was a great show. So it was a great show. Dag Nabby, he don't need to say nothing. I appreciate it. Thank you for being on. You guys are amazing. All right. Shoot, I gotta play this. I gotta put this up. He said, Pascal, you got more super chat from this subject or this topic than all the others combined. LOL. What does that tell you? It just tells me that people like to talk about their nuts. By the way, the reporter guy said almonds weird. he put an H in front of it. Just so you know, it was weird. He was like, so how do you make these almonds? Almonds. Why is a almonds? Seriously, he said almonds. Who does that? Why does somebody put an H in front of the damn almonds? It's almonds. It's not almonds. By the way, it ain't wash your hands. It's wash. Why do people in? It's another conversation. I ain't doing it right now. But he said almonds. Play back. You'll hear it. He goes, how do you make those almond? How do you make the almond juice? Almond. Shut up. Anyway, love all you guys. I just snorted. Okay. Bye. I love you guys. You guys are amazing. I will be doing some pop-up videos throughout the day. And of course, we'll be back on tomorrow evening. David, we got to talk and find out what's a good day for you, for us to do a little private show, like a members only show, just to talk about the stuff, you know what I mean, that's floating around in the Greek letters and all that crap, and do a deep dive. Okay, guys? So, love you guys. I'll see you guys soon. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys very, very soon. Okay? This is the Pascal Show. Bye. Nut juice. Nut juice. Nut juice. Okay, bye.
Homeowners and property managers, if you're looking for effective and humane ways to remove wild animals and deal with the damage that they have caused, we have good news for you. Introducing Wildlife Command Center, a professional nuisance wildlife management company specializing in providing animal removal for residential, industrial, and commercial clients. We are the only wildlife company that checks 70 different areas on a structure to determine the answers to the following questions. Exactly which animal are we dealing with? How is the animal getting inside the home? What kind of damage is the animal doing to the structure? Once we get the answers to all of these questions, we develop and write up an action plan to resolve the animal issue completely and provide a quote to implement that action plan. We perform a very in-depth 70-point wildlife inspection. From visually inspecting the highest point, the chimney, to physically crawling inside the attic space and looking for animals, chewed wires, fecal matter, chewed structural wood. We inspect everything. Our inspection process covers all of the following 70 points: animal-proof chimney cap, roof ridge vents, roof to soffit junctions, dormer fascia, attic gable vents, gutter lines, fascia trim, garage door, utility penetrations, water, gas, electric, and cable, bathroom vents, attic roof ridge vents, attic electrical, wiring, junctions, boxes, and lighting, concrete decks, additions, wooden crawl spaces, basement plumbing, penetrations, ceiling, floor, and wall. Wildlife Command Center's mission is to deliver the finest quality wildlife removal and pest control service that is safe for the environment. For more information, call us now.